The national power grid has lost a total of 845 megawatts of electricity due to the inoperational status of several power plants as well as the closure of several power plants for maintenance activities.
However, General Manager of the CEB, Shavendranath Fernando, noted that steps were taken to obtain 716 megawatts of electricity from private power plants yesterday to meet the electricity demands.
The Ceylon Electricity Board notes that China has agreed to provide assistance to restore the Nord Soleil power plant to operational status. The Nord Soleil power plant was purchased through loans obtained from China. A release issued by the CEB notes that this decision was reached when a group of officers from the Chinese embassy in Colombo met with the Minister of Power and Energy. Deputy General Manager Mervyn Halpe notes that CEB recently took steps to import spare parts from India as well. He added that during the discussions with the Minister of Power and Energy, the Chinese officials had agreed to ensure that the relevant Chinese company that installed the power plant would undertake the repairs if there are faults in the power plant.
We
brought in Chinese experts, and using the equipment they had, we were able to discover several water leaks. We carried out our research and we found out that in neighboring India, there was a team that specializes in such faults. The Chinese experts were aware and agreed to our decision to bring these experts from India. The capacity of the first stage of the Nord Soleil power plant stood at 285 megawatts. The national grid lost 165 megawatts of electricity due to a failure in the cable connecting the Kalanithissa power plant to the national grid. The Canyon and New Lakshapana power stations were closed down for a period of 2 months due to routine maintenance activity. The Canyon power plant produces 60 megawatts while the New Lakshapana churns out 100 megawatts on a daily basis. Electricity generation at the Victoria and Kotmale power plants, which usually produce 200 megawatts, has reduced due to the low water levels in the reservoirs. The Kukuleganga power plant, which has a capacity of 70 megawatts, has not been able to produce electricity to its full potential over the past 3 months due to a technical glitch. This is not a grave issue. The CEB has a total capacity of 3,500 megawatts. The electricity demand yesterday stood at 1,914 megawatts, of which 716 megawatts were obtained from privately owned power plants. By now, we purchase electricity from around 10 or 11 power plants. The Lakdanavi, Heladanavi and West Coast are a few of the power plants. We purchase power from a number of plants such as AES Power and from a barge-mounted power plant in the Colombo harbour. We had agreements in place for 15 years which we cancelled, and we have disconnected these plants from the national grid. There are agreements that span 20 years. We will take steps to end these agreements as well in the coming years. Ordinary businessmen in the country cannot generate electricity and supply it to the CEB. The government states that the electricity bill is controlled by a mafia. Individuals within the government are part of this mafia, and it is they who make these deals. They spend lavishly for elections, and it is such individuals who own power plants and are able to enter into agreements with the CEB. What is the status of the second stage of the Nord Soleil coal power plant? The generator of the second stage can produce 300 megawatts. We hope to connect it to the national grid within 2 weeks.